How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about what is happening in the cryptocurrency market because we have some whale information, we have some regulation, we have some lofty price targets from some of the best investors in the world. So if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button, I really appreciate that. I have some really good videos coming out over the weekend that I think will be beneficial to everyone. They're a little bit different than typical, but I think it'll be really helpful. So hit the like, subscribe for that kind of stuff. Also, I do want to take just a minute to tell you about a new partner of the channel, but I will say there are timestamps underneath the video. I would suggest staying through it because I think this is going to be beneficial to people, but you can always skip ahead. So with Cathie Wood and other investors throwing around huge numbers like $1 million for Bitcoin and $180,000 for Ethereum, we know that the interest that's paid right now to us is going to be worth so much more in the future, which is why I wanted to talk to you about the new partner of the channel, Hodlnaut. Now, I have not been using them very long. I just signed up, but I want to take a look at some of the reviews, and they are very highly reviewed. So they have 4.8 stars with 398 reviews, and a lot of the time you can tell that some of these are fake or bots or something, and these all look like really real reviews talking about the things that they actually like, from seeing interest payouts weekly to the high interest rates. So they do pay higher interest rates than a lot of different platforms. You can see 7.2% APR on the first 2 Bitcoin deposits. So they have large amounts that you can deposit and they give you high interest rates. So you might be asking, okay, how are they doing this? Because that is a lot higher than a lot of these other platforms. Well, they earn interest income by lending crypto to established financial institutions like a lot of these other platforms do, but also they're using decentralized protocols. So they're using DeFi, it sounds like. Hodlnaut takes a small portion of the interest from these sources and passes the rest down to the users. Now, you might be saying, okay, but what happens if a borrower defaults? Well, if that happens, they can liquidate the borrower's collateral and repurchase the borrowed funds. Also, they have a robust legal contract in place with each of the borrowers and may take a legal action to recover the funds if necessary. Now, if something else happens, they say if the default happens anyways, Hodlnaut will be taking on the loss and paying our users from their equity funds. Now, they do have 24/7 customer support through Hodlnaut. They also, in case you're interested in this, they are a Singapore business trying to get their license. They have an exemption given by the MAS, so they are on track for that. Now, in addition to the high interest rates, they're also giving you the chance to earn free crypto and merch through simple tasks like chatting on their Discord. So I will put a link to Hodlnaut underneath the video. If you use that link, you will get $20 if you deposit $1,000. That's one of the things that they allow you to get some free extra crypto. And just to be clear, whenever I start using a platform like this, I usually put some money on, see how it works, and then start putting in more money over time, assuming everything runs smoothly. And you always have to do your research. Like I said, I have not started using this heavily yet, but they do pay really high rates, so I might start throwing some on there. Now, if you guys want to find out more information, you can always go to their Twitter or their actual website. Again, link underneath the video. Thank you to Hodlnaut for sponsoring this part of the video. Now, whenever we get those higher interest rates, they're usually coming with a little bit extra risk, but those are very significant, so you definitely should check out that website. Now, Bitcoin cryptocurrencies are down about 3% today. Not anything drastic. We are seeing a little bit of a dip in the traditional market too, so it's not really that exciting of a day in that sense. Now, we did get some information that the Russian government approved a roadmap for crypto regulation, not banning it. So we've seen this kind of transition over the last couple weeks. They were talking about banning it, but we realize, especially you and I, because we watch this stuff a lot, you can't really ban crypto. You can try and you can ban fiat on and off ramps and make it more difficult, but people will still use it, and usually the usage goes up. It's much smarter to get in on it, get some of the tax revenue, get in on the adoption early on, and they are doing that. Russia's doing that. Now, the government in the US is also talking about regulating it here soon too, which might be bullish as well. We also are seeing large entities, large whale holdings going up pretty drastically over the last week. We can see that those entities with 1,000 Bitcoin or more are adding, which is a good sign. Smart money is buying right now. Before we get to some of the massive price targets, I want to take a second and apologize. Mostly because I had some stuff going on in my life that made me kind of rush through making this video earlier, and I wanted to talk to you about why I wanted to talk about these big price targets. So I got done with a couple other things I needed to take care of. I'm going into a couple other things, but it just didn't seem right to not explain this. So first of all, I think right now we are in a time where we've kind of gone sideways for a few weeks, maybe a couple months, when you consider the fact that we've actually fallen down too. So from the top to now, we've fallen down and then gone sideways and then fallen down and then gone sideways. And it seems really boring. And it's easy to forget all the big things that are happening. But for example, we do have another big bank that's going to partner with NYDIG to offer Bitcoin to customers. We know hundreds of banks are most likely going to start offering this to their clients. We know full nations are adopting. We just talked about Russia. There's so much stuff that's coming down the line, and it's easy to forget the long-term trajectory of cryptocurrencies. And this is investing in a technology. This is investing like in the web before it blew up. And I really think it's important to remember that it's not just about the day-to-day. It's important to look long-term, and that's why I want to show some of these price targets to you here today, because it will get you thinking more long-term and how much potential there is. Now, I'm not trying to spew hopium or anything like that. I think these might be a little bit lofty, but I think they're definitely not inconceivable over the next 8 years. You know, I think a lot of us forget how much can happen in 5 to 10 years, but we always assume that we're going to go up really quickly in the short term. So thinking a couple of years down the line, I think these are definitely possible. Some people don't like Cathie Wood, some people love her, but she has been right on adoption in the past. Obviously not doing that well with the market turned down right now, but she just gave her huge big ideas for 2022. And she's saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum and Web3 and play to earn gaming is going to expand a lot. We can see that the Bitcoin settled in 2021 actually beat Visa. So it was about 130% of Visa's annual payment volume. So Bitcoin is taking over. We also have large entities listed here, and one that I continuously forget about is Block One. So Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is number one with 654,000 Bitcoin, but Block One is number two. It's in front of MicroStrategy. Then we have CoinShares, Tesla, Purpose, Bitcoin, but a lot of these are not the large tech companies that a lot of us expect will be adding Bitcoin over the coming years. I mean, a lot of these large tech companies have hundreds of billions of dollars or tens of billions of dollars just sitting in cash, and it's eroding away. So a lot of us think that, hey, if they throw a couple percent of their balance sheet onto Bitcoin, that will make a huge difference. And she kind of breaks that down here, how Bitcoin could exceed $1 million, actually get up to 1.36 million by 2030. I mean, I think I would be happy with that. Would you? I think so. So if it takes just a small percentage of the remittance network, well, 50% of global remittances, that would be adding about $14,000 per Bitcoin. 10% of the M2 money supply, excluding the top 4 countries, that'd be 133 extra per Bitcoin. Economic settlement network, 25% of US bank settlement volume, so that'd be another 181. National state treasuries, just 1%. Seizure resistant assets, 5%. And institutional investment, 2.55. So you can see how it breaks down. And this is taking a good portion of some of these other markets, but it's not out of the question that could happen. And even if it only gets to half of that, we're still looking at a $600,000 Bitcoin. So at this point, we would see about a 55% increase each year to get to about 1.36, which is a huge return, 55% annual return. Now, they're also bullish on Ethereum. They think Ethereum could go up 56x from here in terms of market cap, and with the draining supply of Ethereum after Ethereum 2.0, we're looking at somewhere around $160,000 to $180,000 Ethereum price. Now, whether we hit those or not, it's impossible to tell. No one knows, but they are extremely bullish on this area, and they are also bullish on play to earn gaming. So I thought that was interesting too, but I think this is definitely worth going and checking out. I want to hear your thoughts on this down below. Do you think this is just hopium, or do you think this could actually happen? Let me know in the comment section. I know that I would love it, but imagine some of the yields you would be getting if you had $1.3 million per Bitcoin, how much you could make if you're getting 5% in some brokerage account or some interest-bearing account. That would be amazing. So Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit of a shorter one here today, but not a ton happening in the markets. Wanted to hear your opinion on this though. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Again, check out the link to Hodlnaut underneath the video. Thanks.